Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds remains one of the defining alien invasion movies of the 21st century for a reason. The 2005 blockbuster took the alien invasion subgenre and filtered it through Spielberg's unmatched instinct for sci-fi spectacle. However, the movie's greatest strength was always its focus on ordinary people trying to survive impossible circumstances. Like many of Spielberg's best characters, Ray, Tom Cruise, in What W wasn't a superhero or a soldier. He was a flawed father forced to adapt as civilization collapsed. That balance between large-scale destruction and deeply personal storytelling helped War of the Worlds establish the modern alien invasion blueprint, but it wasn't Spielberg's only major contribution to the genre. Just a few years later, the legendary Hollywood director became a driving creative force behind TNT's ambitious sci-fi drama Falling Skies. Running from 2011 to 2015 across 5 seasons, the series is the perfect fusion of War of the Worlds and Indiana Jones. The hidden 2010 sci-fi gem takes Spielberg's fascination with alien invasions and survival stories and combines it with the academic-turned-action hero energy that made Harrison Ford's titular archaeologist such an enduring icon. While Falling Skies has never reached the same level of mainstream recognition as Spielberg's biggest movies, it captures nearly every element that makes him such a beloved storyteller in an incredibly bingeable 5-season package. Steven Spielberg's creative fingerprints are all over Falling Skies. Spielberg turned Falling Skies into a perfect blend of alien horror and human survival. Steven Spielberg's influence on modern science fiction is almost impossible to overstate. From Close Encounters of the Third Kind and E.T. to War of the Worlds and Minority Report, Spielberg has consistently directed the genre's greatest modern hits. His stories resonate not because of spectacle, but thanks to how they explore human resilience under extraordinary circumstances. This theme runs through every season of Falling Skies, which makes sense given how heavily involved Spielberg was since the show's conception. Steven Spielberg immediately connected with Falling Skies because its premise focuses on ordinary survivors trying to rebuild after a devastating alien invasion. Humanity has already lost by the time the show begins, and the story instead examines how people adapt after society collapses. That emphasis on survival over spectacle makes it easy to see why the story would interest the War of the Worlds director. As Spielberg himself explained, via Fox, "I've always been interested in how we survive and how resourceful we are as Americans. How would the survivors feed the children? How do they resupply themselves militarily in order to defend and even take back what they have lost?" The idea that an esteemed professor of literature and American history, Tom Mason, becomes one of the leaders of these pods of defenders would be a very compelling way for the audience to see themselves, I thought. The theme of an everyman becoming a leader is the foundation of Tom Mason's entire character arc in Falling Skies. What's more, much like Indiana Jones, Tom's intelligence is just as valuable as his ability to fight, which gives the show a distinctly Spielbergian perspective. Spielberg's involvement also extended far beyond attaching his name as a hands-on executive producer. His company, Amblin Entertainment, eventually took over production during the show's later years, and he also played a major role in casting Noah Wyle as Tom Mason after previously working with the actor on ER. Whether audiences know Steven Spielberg best through War of the Worlds or Indiana Jones, or even the likes of Saving Private Ryan or Band of Brothers, his storytelling DNA is unmistakable throughout Falling Skies. The combination of large-scale sci-fi action, war drama intensity, and character-focused storytelling makes the show feel like a perfect mix of Spielberg's greatest creative strengths. Falling Skies deserves its streaming resurgence. Netflix has finally given Falling Skies the audience it always deserved. Since arriving on Netflix earlier this year, Falling Skies has started attracting an entirely new generation of fans of underrated sci-fi, and it's easy to see why thanks to how bingeable it is. Every season constantly pushes the story forward, whether through new alien revelations, evolving resistance strategies, or shifting character dynamics. The story has the same addictive momentum that helped shows like Lost and The Walking Dead become binge-watching staples. This resurgence of interest is long overdue, too. During its original TNT run, Falling Skies delivered 5 complete seasons, maintained strong performances, and never lost sight of its emotional core. It was, by all accounts, a great show that never deserved to fade into obscurity. The renewed streaming success ultimately proves that Falling Skies may simply have arrived ahead of its time. Thankfully, audiences are finally rediscovering this deeply entertaining Steven Spielberg TV show and, more than a decade after its debut, it's finally receiving the attention it always deserved.